Welcome once again to Commercial Property Club, our podcast. I'm so excited to be with you today. It's part chapter 37. Oh, I am so grateful to all of my subscribers. I'm grateful to every one of you that tunes in onto my show. It's part chapter, like I said, 37. And today we'll be considering another topic in the apartment sector. Today I'm your host, Ibiwoye. Just before we get into the thick of things, I'll be right back with you. Grab your pads and pen. You want to take down some valuable information when it comes to apartment investing, okay? All right, I'll see you shortly. Welcome to another episode of Commercial Property Club podcast. Thank you for tuning in once again today. I am your host, Ibiwoye. Commercial Property Club podcast, as you all know, is where we help physicians, pharmacists, nurses, dentists, and high net worth professionals build sustainable wealth through apartment investing. I'm still your host today, Ibiwoye. Today's episode is about one of the biggest concerns every investor sometimes will have. Sometimes the question is, what happens to my money during a recession? We'll talk about how value-add apartment investing has historically been one of the most recession-proof or recession-resilient strategies, and why it can protect your wealth when your investment kind of like stumble. So today's topic is recession-resilient value-add, how apartments can protect your wealth. So sometimes everyone worries about the hard word, the recession word, what I call the hard word. We all worry about it. Even sometimes the stock market, when the stock market dips, practice may feel pressured. Elective procedures get delayed, when it comes to the aspect of practice. But people will always need a place to live. That's one thing for sure. And not just any housing. Sometimes they often downshift from luxurious place of living to affordable, upgraded apartments, boosting demands for well-managed Class B or your likes of Class C property. Now, let's look at some analogy. Let's say you want to compare a recession to a medical crisis. Some patients have chronic conditions that flare under stress, as you all know in your practice. Others are resilient because they built healthy habits. If you want to compare that with apartments are just like that. Those resilient patients, they may get bruised, but they recover fast because housing is a basic necessity. When you compare that with your stock market, stocks is in what I would say the volatile kind of thing, like your elective surgeries out there, volatile depending on confidence. Apartment also too, when you want to look at it, is essential. What you can compare to your essential medicines out there. Steady demand. Demand never disappears from stuffs like that. The same thing with apartments. Now, it's not like your stock market. Apartments, people will always need a house to stay. So even in times of recession, look at the likes of your 2008 financial crisis. U.S. home ownership dropped, like as in millions lost their homes. So where did those families go? Apartments. Yes, that's true. Apartments. So the apartment occupancy rose and well-run value-add properties saw steady rent growth. Well, in contrast, in the likes of your S&P 500 dropped over 50% at the lowest point. A Dallas-based 200-unit property acquired in 2007 maintained your range of about 94% occupancy through the 2009 year because it was affordable and clean and offered lifestyle amenities at a fraction of what it will cost you to own a home. Now, what are the lessons that we want to look at when it comes to errors like that? You just never know what can happen in the future. We want to learn from what has happened in the past. Apartments don't just survive downturns. They often will thrive in times like that. They're recession-proof. That's practically what I'm trying to say. Because of the resiliency they carry, it's a place of investment you want to find yourself. So what are the strategies for recession-resilient value add then? You want to focus on affordable upgrades when times like that come. Let's say your kitchen cabinets, your flooring and your lighting. Avoid incorporating over luxurious properties and working class areas when you're renovating, just to keep occupancy high, but maintaining even strong aspect of service. Also too, you want to keep your occupancy high. Diversify your tenant base. Actually, you want to diversify that, not depending on one aspect of employee or industry. So what you want to look out for is look at your sponsor's discipline. Are they conservative in their underwriting? Healthy cash reserve in terms of when it comes to reservations in cash. Now, let's talk about investors' perspective. As investors, what are the perspective we must carry in times like this? For passive investors, ask your sponsors, what are your stress test deals? How have you stress test these deals? What are the parameters that you put in place to test the stress level that this deal carries? Another question you might ask is, what happens if rents growth slows down than what is projected? Because when you underwrite, you project. Do they have reserves for downturns in institutions like that? Are they buying in markets with strong job diversity? We have healthcare, logistics, or education, or oil, whatever may be the case. Now, when you want to look at physicians and professionals thinking in that light, think of this like checking a patient. I'm illustrating right now. You're checking in a patient vital sign. You're checking a patient's vital signs under stress. Same thing. A good operator knows how the property will perform in all conditions that are stressed or unstressed. Now let's look at the risk and the reward aspect of things when it comes to times like this. Let's consider the risk aspect of things. Temporary rent concession or slower lease up also too may be a risk. The rewards in times like this could be consistent income, appreciation over the long term period of things, the cycle of things, and also protection against inflation. Now, when you look at the bigger aspect of things, bigger picture of things, a recession is often where apartment investors separate themselves from stock investors. Steady cash flow oftentimes is what keeps the investment going. Your portfolio is very much alive, unlike if it was your stock portfolio which has already tanked. So we want to look at the closing recap of what I just talked about. Remember, we're talking about recession resiliency when it comes to apartment investing, how apartments can protect your wealth versus maybe when you want to compare it to other asset class like your stock market. The recap has been the fact that apartments, especially value-added kind of properties, are historically recession resilient. Period. They may bend a little bit, they may rarely break. Rarely do they break. So for busy professional, this is the edge you've been looking for when it comes to hedging your hard-earned money. Apartment sector is where you want to be when the time of recession is around the corner, or you're anticipating that it might be the case. So for an asset class that works with you even in an uncertain time, apartment investing is what you want to consider. So in a world where market rises and falls, multifamily real estate is what you would say remains one of the most sustainable or stable way of building wealth. Remember that recession don't stop people from needing a home to stay. That's a fact. They just change where they live. That's what really happened. So smart investors provide that kind of home that they're looking for. So I hope it's been valuable, the ton of information I shared with you that could help you when it comes to recession time. Actually, those are valuable nuggets of information I've shared for you today. So thank you so much for tuning in today here at Commercial Property Club podcast. If you've enjoyed these nuggets, value-add investing that we've talked about, share it with a colleague out there or a fellow health professional. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, also to leave a review, and also to help us reach more investors out there, help us reach more network out there ready to build smart wealth. Until next time, keep your portfolio healthy and keep your wealth resilient. That's the key. Okay, you can send me an email, subscribe to my YouTube channel just like I said, and also to connect with me on LinkedIn, Facebook, and on Instagram also too. I'm your host as usual, Ibiwoye, here at Commercial Property Club podcast. I will see you another time when I come with a wonderful episode talking about building wealth with apartment investing. All right, I'll talk to you some other time. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.